Hi Cancer, here's a general look at your solar chart for April 2013, and until the 20th you'll probably be taking your goals and aims or your overall direction in life a little bit more seriously, just being more conscious of what's going on there and more conscious of your responsibilities in certain areas, and perhaps more aware that you need to be showing reliability or consistency, because it's important to be presenting the right image in some kind of a way, and you could be also focusing more on reputation, or just how you're projecting something or packaging something. Right, so that can be with people who rely upon you, who you've got to show that side of yourself to, and there you've got to show that you can take on responsibilities there. Or it might be because you need to make the right impression on the powers that be, or establishment figures, or parental figures. You just be keener to make the right impression in certain situations in an external sort of sense, in the eyes of others, because you might sort of feel a bit scrutinized at times. It might mean that you're dealing with more bureaucracy, red tape, this kind of thing. You might be aware of the restrictions there a little bit more. So you get the idea. This is a time when you may be dealing more with authority, but also and just all of the paraphernalia around that, but also having to show authority yourself. And then from the 20th, it's a more upbeat, progressive time. Then the ball starts to roll forwards. It's a time when your contacts will be more important. You'll maybe be making new contacts. It won't be what you know so much as who you know. Networking will be more important for some of you. The internet, techie things will become more important, and also friends and groups. Any kind of group effort will become, get your attention more. Now, until the 14th, your mind is likely to be focused on the further horizon. Maybe it's something to do with travel or a distant land, or it can just be the bigger picture in your own mind. This is a good time for you to refresh your mental palette and think outside of the box. And so you need to take yourself off to wherever to facilitate that, whether it's taking yourself off to reading a good book, or for a walk, or just plunging into a new kind of environment, or learning something new, so that you get this larger perspective, which Mercury is encouraging until mid-month. It's also a good time because you can get an overview. You can learn a lot about something or other, and then you can join up the dots better. Also, there could be more toing and froing between you and someone at a distance, or between you and someone abroad. That's another way it can work. Also, another way it can work is that a teaching or a teacher, it comes to you, and this can take all kinds of forms. It doesn't necessarily even have to be a human being, but so be open to that. Keep an open mind for that teaching, because Mercury in this part of your solar chart opens the door for a higher awareness, really, or an expanded awareness, or just for you to be more informed in a kind of a linear thinking sort of a way. But also at this time we can turn that around. Certain others may see you as the teacher, as the guide, as the mentor figure in some way, as the agent for information. And then from mid-month, from the 14th, discussions, ideas, discussions, maybe paperwork could revolve around your short-term or longer-term plans and goals and targets. And then that's when Mercury comes and joins in with the Sun, which I described to you, that area there. And you might be thinking more and maybe involved more in paperwork or conversations about your targets, but also your longer term goals and even your life direction. It could also be that your head is full of thinking about a new enterprise, and you actually, until mid-month, it can be a good time because there could be an ally for you to enable you in some way, to help you out in some way with a plan, with a goal, with a target. And so you'll be putting mental effort into this. It might be something to do with the net, who knows, because of all the movement into the next area, which is a more Aquarian type area in the internet. If you can say a lot of stuff about it, but it's definitely Aquarian. So if you aim to express yourself in the best way you can, to get your message across, maybe across a wider stage, it could be like that, or just impressing the boss, the establishment figure, the authority figure, the parental figure, whatever it is, then that's using that energy. But in the way that the energy is kind of flowing. But as I say, until mid-month, you do have a helper there because you've got Venus in the same part of the chart. Vehicles, transport, communications equipment may also be more on your mind from the 14th onwards. And then until the 15th, you've got this ally in Venus in that area of your chart to do with authority figures. So parental figures, establishment figures, those in positions of power will tend to see you in a good light. It depends on your track record, obviously, and what's gone on in the past, but those who you look up to because you choose to, or because, in the pecking order, in the hierarchy, you have to, they will tend to be at least not so annoying. Or even better, you might find that there's somebody there who is not necessarily above you, but just so happens with the timing of things, she, because it could be more of a she than a he, but it can still be a he. I'm only saying that because Venus is a feminine energy. That person, whoever it is, will perhaps be a little bit more in the mood to help you out. Someone could play a supportive role to your making a move in the right direction, or somebody could just give you, a bit of a leg up the ladder as well. Some sort of positive interaction could be going on there with these types of people, okay? But of course, if we do turn that around, which of course I like to look at the energy from both ways round. Of course, there's probably a zillion ways around you can look at it. Then if we turn it around, somebody may see you as an authority figure or somebody that they look up to, or in a position of power to help them. And maybe you then give a friendly helping hand to them, and boost them up the ladder, or help them out with their aims and ambitions in whatever way it is. And then from the 15th, Venus moves and joins the Sun. Actually the Sun hasn't arrived there yet, so Venus gets there first, I think. And from the 15th, friends and acquaintances are well starred. The Sun comes in there on the 20th, so does Mars. Friends and acquaintances are well starred. Group efforts will be well starred. Again, you're more likely to feel the support there from friends, friendships, group efforts, groups. Things over the wires as well. Anything techno as well. And also, it being quite a progressive area, maybe you're feeling the ball rolling forwards. Maybe you're feeling like, at last, now I can get round to doing this. Now I'm getting a new opportunity to do this. And hopefully it's something you really want, because of course it might have been something pending for a long time, and then now is the time that this can happen. So this is a very sort of future orientated area, and with Venus here again, it's quite supportive as well. Contacts new and old are likely to be more the center of your attention, and pooling forces and resources may be interesting or material beneficial, and in general just facilitate positive experiences. But you also can be viewed as the friend or colleague or group member, which helps the wheels roll around smoothly, or is, you could be seen as invaluable to somebody else's progress. So that's another way it can work. When the Sun and Mars come in there, then it really gets into gear, that area really gets going. And as I say, it's a very forward-looking part of your solar chart. Now, until the 20th, Mars is in there, in the area to do with it getting... working quite hard to get certain goals or ambitions moving forwards. Maybe you needing stamina because of the demands of authority figures or people that you look up to, or people in positions of power, and you want to come across looking your best in their eyes, maybe, and the Mars energy means that you're likely to be putting more physical effort or using more stamina, more of your energy in achieving your goals, or coming across it in the right sort of a way. But also you could cross swords with an authority figure or a parental figure, or somebody who is putting a sort of a block there. So you could cross swords. You may get a bit annoyed, but if you just keep your cool and continue to be decisive and energetic, all the while looking after yourself, of course, then Mars and Venus up until the 15th as well. So it's just that little window between the 15th and the 20th maybe that there could be hot under the collar, people getting hot under the collar, or you just getting annoyed and frustrated because you see somebody's dragging their feet and not being decisive enough, so or just uncooperative really, and if you manage, as I say, to keep your cool and not be too hasty, then you can make good progress with Mars in this area here, with your goals, your ambitions, and so on. And then Mars moves on the 20th and joins the Sun in the area where Venus will be, and then you could be putting more physical effort or having to use more stamina within a circle of others, or because of friends, or with acquaintances or colleagues, or just those with whom you share an interest in common. You might not even know them very well, or on the other hand you might. So it can be, a variety of ways this can work. It's a very sociable area, but friends or associates, you could feel that they're being more demanding. You sort of got to keep up, or rather it could be that they are wasting time, as you see it. And again, this irritation comes out where you just decide to make the pace, or to take the lead, or make the decision, because Mars just loves to initiate things, and has got very, very short on patience as well. So just avoid again being too hasty or over tiring yourself, because of your pace, or indeed others' pace and demands, and because of all the stuff you've got to do on behalf of them. But on another level, this is, as I said before, a very future-orientated area, and of things that have been on the back burner of your life, maybe for a very long time. You can just start to move forwards with that. It is very much a springtime energy, this. So you feel as though you can start to move forwards now. And your aims or your hopes, that things that are close to your heart, you can make... You can further those aims and those hopes and dreams. Now Jupiter is in quite a special area of your solar chart. He's been there since June, and he will stay there until the coming June. He's one of the slower moving planets, and he is helping you to come to terms with maybe the past, come to terms maybe with yourself, and people get into things like psychology, or developing themselves psychically, or developing their healing ability, or doing yoga or tai chi or meditation, or just getting on with doing things which are selfless, which bring you closer to a sense of unity and maybe take you right outside of yourself. So it is an area of good works for others, you see. So Jupiter, the great teacher, in this area here for these months, some of the ways he can work means that, you know, you might be learning a lot, but just in a low key, in the background kind of a way, maybe in a modest, more selfless kind of a way. But also Jupiter here will help you to let go and forgive. And once you've got that out of the way, you've made a space which then allows you to grow more and adds to the pool of goodwill for us all, because everything is connected. And no matter how insignificant or difficult you feel something is at the time, and how anonymously you're doing it, it is noted, and it does make waves across the whole collective. So never ever doubt that for one moment. And of course, I can only say what I've seen and what I've experienced and what I know. So I'll leave that with you anyway. And you can do with it what you want. But this is also a good time for you to be developing all kinds of things behind the scenes. It's great for artistic children of Cancer as well, and spirituality, which I mentioned, but also anything in the background area, which you see, this is an incubation area. It's like a womb area. So slowly over this 12-month transit, and we're halfway, well, more than halfway through it now. You're preparing. It's like a preparation area where things are growing in this womb-like space. And then, of course, Jupiter from June is going to come into your sign, and then it's an awful lot of what you didn't feel you could come forwards with before, you will be able to. This is also, I must say, at the area of your own being your own worst enemy and shooting yourself in the foot, although it's less likely with Jupiter there, but I've got to mention it because it's part of my job. Shooting yourself in the foot because of old patterns, really, baggage, old habits that somebody just knows where to, just niggle you and press that button, and then off it goes. And the part of your sign that this affects will be written up on my website. Saturn is now in a very positive angle to your sun sign, unlike it went into this more positive angle last October, unlike the previous 2.5 years. So that's easing up the stress on you quite a bit, and it means that if you're serious and consistent and you give nurturing attention to whatever it is that's going on long term, and you invest yourself, or you invest whatever it is long term in something, or in yourself indeed, then in your own creative ability, or particularly with young ones as well, or animals, then you can really slowly build something good there for yourself, a new foundation, and also with your love life too. And Pluto now in Capricorn is in your close relationship area, and it's initiating a breaking down but then a regenerating through the behavior of those close to you, through partners, through friends, through family members, through somebody maybe you haven't even met yet, but whoever it is, you feel a real strong connection. In fact, you know, really extraordinarily strong sometimes, like it's a soulmate. But soulmates, we're other soulmates and others are ours. We're here to help. We're here to help each other learn, and some of these lessons are real tough ones. So sometimes their behavior isn't what is comfortable for you, and you're having to deal with it. But it won't be until you've let go of maybe a previous standpoint. Initially, it's easy to say, "Oh, I'm letting go of them." But it might be that the letting go process means that you've got to let go of a previous way, you know, of approach or viewing things. It might be. I mean, I can't know, but I'm just giving you how it can work. But also, you know, maybe just needing to back off and cool down. If this comes up for you, and really it's probably going to come up only for those who've got Pluto very near their sun or one of their planets in Cancer. So it's a drive within you which can push you very, very almost like compulsively towards somebody, but then this gesture, this exchange can happen between you maybe over weeks, months, however long. And then there is the need to let go and realign and regenerate because of that exchange, that gesture that you shared between you. And certain alliances will be key to your maturation on the level of the heart and also intelligent loving, but maybe on a higher level of the spiral. And maybe a little bit less conditional in this world of limitation that we all live in. So, and you Cancerians who are interested in this, it will be around the end of June, early July, or from about 7 to 11 degrees rising. But just check up on that on my website. That those who are being affected by this at the moment, and just a little addition at the end. Some of you might want to be aware of the 1st and 2nd when something underlying could come to light and clear the air there. The 21st, 22nd of April, there's a tendency for someone to be blinkered in their thinking or narrow-minded thinking. Could be you, but just try to keep an open mind and be open to a different way of seeing things. On the 22nd, don't expect too much from others or yourself. It's, you know, just make yourself a nest and just keep a low profile, if as much as you can. And on the 28th, the 28th, and then the 30th to the 1st of May, a little bit more pressure in the air to push against, but just stay positive and move forwards. But slowly, don't expect anything to happen fast. Don't expect any sort of hitting the high spots on those days there. And that's it for April. Those transits that I've just given you there are very, very, they pass very quickly, but I thought they were worth the mention. So that's it for the month of April. And if you know your rising sign or your moon sign, check up on those. It'll give you a different slant on what I've said here. And I'll see you the next time.